You're watching the Coaches Roundtable on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Welcome to Coaches Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi. To my right, the Swami George Abraham. To my left, the Tiger Albert Campman. Guys, we're going in the spotlight, basketball top scores, and we're at the halfway point this week in section play, and the section battles for first place are really heating up.
I like this time. I do. I like this time. Second time around, I see the coaching means it makes a difference. What adjustments are you going to make to try to get yourself into those playoffs?
And we get to our power rankings, we'll see where a number of undefeated teams were knocked off this past week. Let's go to high school basketball top scores. Boys, Ethan Morton of Butler, 33 and 31-point games. He's averaging 21.9 per game. Logan Murray of Pine Richland, games of 32 and 23. He averages 15.4 per game. Chase Begley of Karn City's having a terrific season. He had games of 31, 28, and 20. Ben Ringheisen of Hampton, 28. Ryan Lang of Knock, games of 27 and 25. He averages 16.7. Grant Timberson of North Allegheny, 27. You know, North Allegheny has really improved this year. They're 7-6. They played some tough games. They lost a tough game to Butler. Much improved play from the Tigers this year.
Well, they've been waiting for that. They have been waiting hard for that in NA basketball, no question.
7-6, not there.
Not there yet.
Good point.
No,
Not
no,
there.
better play than last year.
What I mean,
yeah.
at NA,
Not there.
No, that's not good enough.
that's not good enough.
No.
It's an improvement, but
But
not
not
where
there.
they want to be.
Exactly.
Michael Carmody of Mars, 26 and 21. He averages 18.6 per game. Kyle Poles of Pine Richland, 25, 15.4 average. Jared Schruckengoss of Knock, 24 and 21-point games. Nate Shire of Riverside, what a terrific all-around athlete he is. He had 24 points. Ethan McDevitt of Montauk, 24. Devin Carney of Butler, 24. He averages 20.5 points per game. Caden Ramsey of Union Reimersburg, 24, including the last shot of the game, his 70-foot buzzer beater to beat Karn City 64-61.
Wow.
Left of the
Live
court.
forever on that one.
And then-
Hey, you're grabbing your clipboard for overtime.
Yes.
You hear the buzzer and then the
Explosion.
Yeah.
throw it up.
Let me ask you guys a question on this. As you're reading this, my mind's racing. I'm an old dinosaur, and I admit it. Because of the three-point rule and how fast everybody's playing, is today, I hear all these 25s and 31.
Yeah, more than ever.
Am I an old dinosaur? I think today's 20 was our day's 15.
Yes, without
You know what
question.
I'm saying? Like that's what I like. All these people are scoring
Scores are
25,
high.
27,
Hey, I'm in the game
24.
last night. They missed their first 15 threes.
No, keep
Didn't
shooting them.
stop them a
No.
bit.
So
They
that's
just
what-
kept
so
right
that's what
on
I-
fire.
So that's what I see.
Lighting them up.
You know, that's what so you guys agree with me a little bit that the scoring is up
100%.
because of,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah, and
okay.
it's an extra point. I mean, that's not that far.
I know somebody said to me the other day, the record in the Slipper Rock bandbox is Sean Miller with 56.
Oh, if he's
And my line behind was that
70.
there was no threes.
It'd been
It's just,
70.
if there was threes, he would have scored 70 or 75.
Yes, he would have.
Yes.
Mike Wells in Newcastle, 23 and 22. He averages 19.6. Sheldon Cox in Newcastle, 23. He averages 19.2. And I'm going to ask you guys, with these two guys scoring like this, why are the Canes struggling?
They're not near as good defensively.
No,
they're
that's
soft
good point,
defensively.
Howard.
They're not near as good defensively. They used to take ball off teams. They're not taking the ball off teams at all.
And they don't shoot well. Of all the things they've done over the years, taking the ball from you is probably the thing they've done the best, and climbing on the boards is probably the second. But they're never a great shooting team.
You know, this year though, George, 38% from three.
Yeah.
They're shooting the ball this
That's
year.
not bad. That's
Oh,
57.
no, that's tremendous.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You have two
They're
guys
shooting- they're
averaging
shooting the ball
nearly
good this
Just not
year.
taking
20
it from
points
you.
a game.
They're
They're
just
taking
not.
it from you.
They're not taking the ball.
And that big kid from Quaker Valley had 30 on him. That used to be didn't happen.
J.D. Azulay of Rochester, 22. Danny Timko of Grove City, 21. Levi Orton, A.C. Valley, 21 and 25. Scott Frazier of Knock 20, he averages 17.5. Priest Ryan of Vincentian 20. Garrett Schaffhauser of Freeport 20. And Mahaly Safanos of Mars 20. For the girls, Ayani Hudson of Newcastle 30. She averages 16.2 per game. Kristen Orville of Montauk 28. Alexis Robinson of Rochester, she had 25. She averages 18.6 per game. Aslan Pry of Montauk, 27. Tess Myers, North Catholic, 24. She averages 16 a game. Bella Playa of Mars, 23, 17.2 average. Lizzie Grosh, North Allegheny, 22, 18.1 average. Maddie Carshute, Seneca Valley, 20. Mayella Collins of Beaver Falls, 20. And in college men, Will Robinson Jr., Slippery Rock University, 25. Julian Shanks, BC3 out of Knock High School, poured in 49 points. For the women, Brooke Hinderleiter, Slippery Rock University, had 26. Leanne Gibson out of Slippery Rock University, also from Carn City, had 17. And how about Grove City College? The women, 100. Geneva, 39. Grove City, 12-1, 4-1 in conference play. Westminster 96, Geneva 59. Westminster's 12-3, 5-1. The two meet this Saturday, the 18th. Westminster at Grove City. What a battle that'll be!
It's free to get into. I mean, I know.
Free to get
How
in.
about that?
Grove City, yeah. I mean, it's Grove City. Just a few
Battle
of them.
for first
Yeah,
place?
without a doubt. There's a Monato girl on that team.
Graves.
Yes, I'm
Lazy
looking.
Graves. Yes.
I knew I had
For
seen her
Westminster.
play, and I'm just,
Yes.
I'm thinking, where did I see her? Where did I
Right.
see her? Then I put the name in. Both those two with one loss. This is a great year for both of them.
Grove City, 100 points, you said, right?
Yeah.
100 to 39.
Wonder,
And
Free-
after no one scored 20, but about 6 girls were in double figures.
free chicken or free McDonald's or
Yeah,
something
free
for 100
something.
points? That's some of the
I'm
schools-
going to say to them, they put the time in the summer.
Beautiful.
They were playing all the
I
time
like
this
it.
summer.
Like you see, root for
give
those kind of
those
teams.
girls the credit
Right.
and the coach involved. But this Saturday, this is a big one.
Indoor track, Brian Manchester of Butler, a school record time of 8.65 in the 60-meter hurdles. And Sammy Tufik of Butler, a school record 6 feet 8 inches in the high jump. And, yeah,
That's great.
6'8".
Indoors. Wow.
That's great.
That's
Yes.
the outdoor record too. in
That's
the-
great.
Pretty
And
impressive.
he's looking to get close to 7.
All right, you get up there at 6'8". My gosh, that's great.
No, that caught my ear.
In wrestling, the Trib WPL ranking, Seneca Valley number 2 in AAA, and Butler number 9 in AAA. And in honors, PIAA football All-State offensive tackle Josh Kaltenberger, 6'5", 290 out of Seneca Valley, made All-State, and he's headed to Purdue. Offensive tackle Michael Carmody, Mars, Class 5A All-State, 6'7", 295-pound seniors headed to Notre Dame. And Seneca Valley offensive tackle Kevin Meter, he commits to Ball State, 6'5", 285. He will be a redshirt freshman this year at Ball State. How about Seneca Valley with those two linemen?
Yeah, you don't see that too often. You're not kidding.
They're noted for offensive linemen.
And it tells you how good the 6A football is.
Yeah.
You could go 4-7 with two guys like that on your line.
Pine Ridge
And-
and NA and Central Catholic are waiting for him, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
they have guys too.
the game that killed their season, I think, ever recovered. They were winning 7-3 over Central Catholic. They punted the ball away, pinned Central down inside their 10. 4 or 5 minutes ago, Central drove the field, scored with like 20 seconds left, and the game ended on a long pass with Seneca Valley down inside the 10. Never recovered from
One
that
of our
loss.
themes, Eddie, is you hit don't let one loss affect the rest of the year. And
That-
when
and
that
that one did.
happens, yeah, that's
That one
bad.
did.
Yes.
You can lose the same game twice.
Let's go to our power rankings for boys 6A. Upper St. Clair, followed by Fox Chapel. Fox Chapel, the only undefeated team at 12-0. Butler in third. Mount Lebanon, Pine Richland, and the game you saw here in Armstrong that we did. Butler 88, Pine Richland 84 and over. Time, just a terrific game. Ethan Morton and Devin Carney for Butler, and Chuck Cranebucker. He played a great game all around. And then Pine Richland with Logan Murray, Kyle Poles, Levi wins. And the game, Albert, it was 79-79, a missed shot in the middle of the lane by Pine, and their senior center, Shanahan, went up and grabbed it. Looked like he was going to drop
was
a
just far
piece
over.
of paper,
Wow. And it
a piece of
came
paper
out.
into the
man.
wastebasket. And I said it must have been the ghost of
Because
the
it-
Butler
it
great
was-
Bill Saul, who stuck his hand up through the
It
net.
was I thought he
It
was
didn't
above
drop.
it.
We
He
were
was
ready
this far
to
above.
say
Yeah,
they won on a buzzer beater.
I'll tell you that
Since
time Richland's good. Al.
Since I've sat on this table with you guys, I think this will be the best 6A playoffs going. When you named all those teams,
Oh, they're all any one of them.
any one of them can beat anybody that given night.
and
You like
George, you
St.
correct.
Clair?
St. Clair's my
Albert-
team.
See, Albert's plugged in there. He's got a buddy who coaches in the down south, and he knows all these teams. This I was as impressed with Pine, and I watched the JV game. It's not done.
Right.
It's not done junior high either.
No.
And let me say this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Butler and Pine are evenly matched.
Oh no.
That's what I see with all those. The ones you mentioned.
Morton took over in the fourth quarter and overtime, but Fox Chapel 12-0. They only give up 42 points a game. And Upper St. Clair, what impresses me about them being 12-1, they went down to Florida and won a tournament. They beat a tremendous team with 2 6-7 starters without their best scorer, who's missed 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, somebody, as George said, the guy I talked to told me this summertime, what's the best team you saw? He said Upper St. Clair. So that's
Yeah, everyone was
see.
saying Butler, Pine, and one of the Mount Lebo.
Right.
No one said St. Clair in the summer, so they must be good.
Hey, January 28th, we'll be back.
Oh,
we'll be
boy.
down at
That's
Pine
exciting.
Ridge for that rematch. We're looking. This is turning into not a great rivalry, but a tremendous, fierce rivalry.
It's
If you've
bound.
ever seen one, it's the
It's going
days
to
of
come
Butler
down.
Newcastle.
I'm going to tell you, it's going to come down to somebody calling one of those flops on Morton. That's how close those games are, because those kids try to take charges.
Gotcha.
And the refs are programmed knowing they're trying, and it's on occasion they go either way, but you can't. That will decide the game.
You experienced this when you played at Farrell, going against Sharon twice a year.
Oh, yes. What
The
a
place was
rivalry.
packed. You had to get there early.
packed early. You know this game's going to be close at the end, and you know the communities are all in.
One major difference. This game's in the 80s. That when they all play St. Clair or Fox Chapel, they're going to have to pull
When
it
it-
in because it's not going to get to
And
80.
you talk about threes. There were about 20 of them made that night.
Oh, Albert. Oh,
Easily. One after the other.
Yeah,
Pine-
they're both scoring machines. No question.
And that dude from Butler, that Carney, you kidding me off the dribble?
And the unsung,
Oh,
this
my.
Logan Murray doesn't get enough credit.
Oh, no, he's not.
the guard.
That's a
for
great team.
Pine.
That's a great team.
You look at him and you say, okay. Then he plays and he's got that
don't
long
look at
stride.
Don't look
No,
at
don't
them.
look.
Just watch them play.
You look at, you don't see like the monsters, but man, can they shoot it?
In 5A, it's Penn Hill, Shaler, Mars, Thomas Jefferson, and Char Valley. And in 4A, we have a new number 1, Knock, followed by Uniontown, Highlands, Quaker Valley, and Ambridge. Knock defeated previously undefeated number 1 Highlands 74-69. Knock really has an outstanding team this year. They've been building.
If you asked me if I was a young whippersnapper coming in to coach, where would I like to coach? It'd be 4A in Pennsylvania. If you get a good team in 4A, you could go win it. Newcastle's proven it forever. They've won some decent teams, some great teams, and just some.
You get down there,
you
though.
know, yeah, it's hard to win down there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the
You can get
WPL.
there. Oh,
You
yeah.
can win the WPL in
And
4A.
this is probably the first time in what?
Wow.
10 years we don't have them ranked.
Yeah, for sure.
And 3A, it's Lincoln Park, North Catholic, South Allegheny, Washington, and Beaver Falls. And 2A, Olsh, Springdale, Shenango, Sarah Catholic, and Brentwood.
Springdale, hold on. Aaron Epps.
Aaron Epps.
Hats
Springdale.
off, doing a fabulous job there. Only one loss. And his team's very young.
It's even better.
Yes.
And you look at Sarah Catholic, number 4, they're 7-5, and Brentwood's number 5 at 10-1. That's because Brentwood was undefeated and Sarah beat them. Not always do we put a team, you
No,
look
you don't
at
do
rank
that.
in the head, but sometimes in this case, Sarah Catholic, they played a tough schedule.
Sarah's McKeesport Catholic, right?
Yes.
So they got players.
In 1A, it's Vincentian, Cornell, Bishop Canevin, Imani Christian, and Greensburg Central Catholic. For the girls, you have a new number 1, Norwin, followed by North Allegheny, Bethel Park, Mount Lebanon, and Baldwin. Baldwin beat previously undefeated Bethel Park, but actually no room to move up because all these other teams are winning. It dropped Bethel Park from number 1 down to number 3. And in 5A, Char Valley, 14-0 now, and I think this is 40 or 41 straight.
Well, for
They're-
record, we're getting that 56, I think, isn't it?
15 away from North Catholic's record. Woodland Hills, Oakland Catholic, Trinity, Thomas Jefferson, and Slippery Rock High School in there at 9-3.
Good team.
They dealt Grove City their only loss of the season.
Yeah, they're very, very talented.
And in 4A, it's North Catholic, undefeated Southmoreland, Blackhawk, Central Valley, and Freeport still hanging in there, playing some pretty good basketball. And in 3A, it's Mohawk, Seton LaSalle, Beaver, Derry, and Freedom. And tell us about.
I was at the Mohawk game last night, and one of the viewers over in West Pittsburgh, we're only on in a little spot over there, and he came down. He said, "Hey," he said, "what's up?" And I said, "I'll tell Eddie." And you had already changed it.
Now you blame me.
Oh, I did. I told him it was that
Throw him under the
small.
bus?
Oh,
Throw him under the
without
bus?
a
Throw him
doubt.
under the bus?
I said, Eddie does the rankings.
Well, you know what?
Eddie was getting run over.
Sometimes I met you miss a game here and
Sure,
there,
no.
and other times if a team's 13-0 and a 6-6 team beats them, I just may leave them there.
Well, they were both
in that
11
spot.
You made the change this week.
Yeah.
You got it right.
Yeah, they were
that's
both.
right.
Hey,
That was last week.
You got it right.
I
You got it
tell
right,
you,
Eddie.
And they can score.
Eddie made it right. Eddie got it
Oh,
right.
they shoot the three. Boy.
And,
Should've made it up.
and in 2A, it's Sarah Catholic, boys, girls.
Oh, yeah.
The Yellow School, Winchester, Thurston, Bishop Canavan, and Olsh. And the Yellow School knocked off previously undefeated Winchester, Thurston, 56-41.
Hey, we went last year.
whooping.
We went to see Joel last year, and the game before it was Winchester Thurston.
We
And they
saw
got beat about 20 zillion to 7. Someone said the girls didn't come.
They didn't. They didn't come to the game.
The
It was a
state
playoff game.
playoffs.
Yeah, they- yeah.
Interesting.
They had 7 guys on the girls on their benches. Where's the rest of their team? The 4 starters didn't come. They didn't want to play. Oh,
Interesting.
jeez.
In 1A, it's Rochester looking to repeat, followed by undefeated West Green, Vincentian, Greensburg Central Catholic, and Avella. There was a late game last night. West Green and Avella didn't get that score. All right, let's move on. College football national championship game, and what a game it was. LSU 42, Clemson 25. It looked like, wow, Clemson up 17-7, and they're going to win their 3rd national championship in 4 years to tie Notre Dame, Nebraska, and Alabama. And then Joe Burrows, who looked like maybe he was confused. Oh, the switch turned on. 35-8 the rest of the way. Burrows shredded Brent Venables' defense, passed for 469 yards, his 60th touchdown pass, an all-time NCAA record for the season. Close to 550 or 600 yards for LSU. And Venables, as good as he is, in the 2 playoff games, 518 yards Ohio State, almost 600 yards here. So great athletes have a way of shredding great
Good way to
defenses.
say it. The offense has the advantage today so badly. So the score, Clemson's offense lost this game. No, they just quit scoring. What can I say? And LSU's not a juggernaut defensively.
No, and I thought that too.
That was how the game was lost. The offensive coordinators at Clemson, I'd be calling them today and say, "Hey, listen, Busters, we got shut down in the second
How
half."
many balls did he throw over their heads, though?
Yeah, he was
He
overstriding
did
so
not
bad.
have a good game.
I was surprised how well LSU's defense played.
So was I.
After it was 17-7. I thought they were going to have to score 50 to win the game.
I think most people did. I think most people thought that. I really do.
And so for Coach Ogeron or Luca Brazzi,
Go Tigers.
Coach of the Year, what a fine job. He really has these kids motivated. He's a great recruiter. Give LSU credit for having faith in him. He changed that whole offense around.
That doesn't happen too often. That in the very first year when you change it, everything. But that's the talent level LSU has.
Yeah.
They got receivers.
This has been waiting.
They got
Yeah,
receivers.
when you have Beckham and Landry and you don't move the ball.
What did we say a couple of years ago? When's the rest of the SEC going to catch up with Alabama and get a quarterback?
Yeah,
Well,
they-
you know, with Mike Leach there, it's going to open it up even more now. And the Kiffin.
Oh, he's there. That's an
At
offensive
Mississippi.
line.
It's
That's
gonna
why they hired
open up.
all these offensive coaches.
You know,
They
it's
so-
amazing. You talk about Orgeron. They couldn't get rid of him fast enough at Southern Cal. They didn't like how he spoke. And if you read the book Raw Recruits, it does everything but make a fool out of him. It proves it's Jimmy's and Joe's. Because now at LSU, I remember reading last year they were changing. I thought, when push comes to shove, they'll run pass like they always do. Well, they didn't.
Give him credit that he was
Lots of
able to
credit.
say, step back and say, I'm just going to be a recruiter because I love LSU. I'll bring great players in here, and I'm going to give the offense and the defense to
great-
somebody else.
great
What's wrong with
offensive-
that today's world?
great
That's what-
offensive
And-
coordinator.
And you know what, too? With this new transfer portal, don't be shocked if some guy that you least expected, like the Houston quarterback, although I heard Arkansas, that kid's a stud.
Oh, not Oklahoma. You heard Arkansas, huh?
I heard
Oklahoma. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah, how about Clemson? 29-1 the last 2 years, and we look at 2020 as Yogi Berra would say, deja vu all over again. Who's ranked number one preseason already? They're looking at Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State,
Has to be.
LSU, if they can get a quarterback, and then Oklahoma, Oregon, Penn State, Florida, Notre Dame, and they say Iowa is loaded, just looking for a quarterback.
That Rip Van Winkle approach. If you fall asleep, and wake up 10 years later.
Other than Georgia, that's the one name I would. You know what I mean?
And Georgia loses a significant number of offensive linemen.
Quarterback.
Quarterback.
They're getting the guy from Wake Forest, I heard. They're getting Newman. He's going.
Is that? Oh,
Yeah, from Wake
he's
Forest.
really good.
Oh,
Right.
He'll be playing with better players now. So that's what I heard.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't expand the playoffs. Leave it the way it is.
They're not doing this year.
You have a playoff games all
Every
through
week.
this.
No,
we
you're
like
right.
it.
It's
We do
season.
like that.
No, it's a season-long playoff.
Every game, the big games count. In basketball, we know they don't count
Right.
during the
Not a
regular
bit. No,
season.
no.
Hey, transfer news: Notre Dame quarterback and prime Richland grad Phil Jacoby. He's to Boston College. He has 3 years to go. If he doesn't get a waiver, he has to sit out this season. Then he has 2 to play. They're working on him getting this waiver. 2 new coaches there with Western Pennsylvania ties, the new head coach, and Frank Signetti, the offensive coordinator, both coached at Pitt, both coached in the NFL. And mark this on your calendar, 2022, his senior year. Boston College is at Notre Dame.
Are they?
Yeah.
How about that?
So we wish him the best. I do.
Oh, we always wish him the best,
Terrific.
always.
I think if Ian Book would have said, I'm going to go to the pros, he probably would have stayed. I don't blame him. He sat on the bench for 2 years. I think they could have used him more, a little more judiciously. The only thing I want to say about this is Ian Book has taken a pounding from some Notre Dame fans. For what reason, I don't know, because Djokovic left. He has nothing to do with that.
Nothing.
He wants to come back and play. That's all.
10-2, it's hard to change a quarterback.
Yeah, 11-2,
Yeah.
and he's 23-3 as a starter.
Yeah.
They're not changing.
Not changing.
We know
at
that.
this point.
And that's why he left. I mean, that's just common sense.
He wants to play.
He wants to play. I
And
get
he's
that.
talented.
Yeah, I
Yes.
get that.
Yeah, why wouldn't he want to play as good as he is?
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Makes
Not
no
gonna win.
sense. Yeah.
AFCS championship game: North Dakota State 28, James Madison 20. Ben DiNucci out of Pine Ridge, 22 of 31, 2 TDs and an interception. Unfortunately, the interception came and they drove down to the 3-yard line. Looked like they had a chance to tie it up, and he threw a pick at the goal line.
North Dakota State finds a way. They got a freshman quarterback. That means they're going to be around for another 3 years. They're the true juggernaut.
Did you hear his
of
stats?
anybody.
Passed at 8 and ran at 36.
They've
never
won
heard of that.
eight national titles in the last 9 years.
They're in
Amazing.
Youngstown's league.
That's the dynasty of all dynasties.
They won 5
Yeah.
titles at Division II, so that's 13 national championships
Yeah, they're
for
in
them.
Youngstown's league. Youngstown knows every year. It's hard to just get out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Just get in the playoffs, you're fine.
The Sagan ratings always rate FBS and FCS.
Yeah.
North Dakota State, that league,
Yeah, they're
4
way-
of them are rated higher than all the
bottom
MAC
of the-
teams.
oh, yeah.
All
Oh,
they
they-
know how good they are.
One year, we had Iowa at the Rivers, and I looked and I said, Al, I said, you know what I'm afraid of? Not Purdue. The game that's going to hurt us is North Dakota State. Didn't they beat them?
Yeah.
Well, when do you think they're going to move up into the next level and be in there with
think-
Boise
I don't think they
State
will.
and
I don't
those
think they
teams?
will.
You
I
don't
don't
think
think-
they
I
I
will?
don't
think they like their niche.
No, they have a perfect niche.
They're the kings. They said they're the kings in town. I mean, the whole
But
town.
I think
is behind them.
there's something about programs like that. Didn't Boise do that
Boise-
run?
oh, Youngstown played Boise several times.
Eventually, I think they say, let's see if we could do it the next level.
Well, Boise has a stadium that was big enough. You have to have certain.
Yeah, amenities.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
I
have
don't
to
know
with
what
it.
their
They don't.
stadium's like.
They got the Fargo Dome. It's real right on you. There's not big enough.
Good point. That's a good point.
Let's go to the NFL. What a game this was. Tennessee 28, Baltimore 12. Running back Derrick Henry. What a horse.
Eddie was in. Hey, you got to admit, you were in your.
Oh,
in your
my
glory.
God. I love that kind of
Running
football.
every play.
Eddie was in his glory. Pounded again.
The days of Jim Brown. Derrick Henry, 195 yards, ran for 2, threw a 3-yard touchdown pass. What a brilliant call that was. If anyone thought he was going to throw, I want to know who it was.
Nobody.
No. I said, here we go. Boom, jumped up, threw that touchdown pass. A playoff record, 377 yards rushing in 2 games. He did it at 2 of the best defensive teams, New England and
Yes.
Baltimore. And Lamar Jackson, I was just telling someone he's going to have a game like every other quarterback's had, where he's going to have miscues, turnovers. He had 2 interceptions and a fumble. Did run the ball well, but not enough. You can't turn the ball over like that in the playoffs.
You know what his worst play was in my mind? Losing his poise and getting that 15-yard penalty.
He did lose it, too.
On the first
Yes.
interception.
He did lose it.
He's your leader. You know,
He did
he's
lose
the
it.
one that needs to. Hey, okay, we're okay, guys.
He lost it.
Yeah, he did.
Tennessee will visit Kansas City. Kansas City down 24-0. What a show they put on. Outscoring Houston 51-7 the rest of the game for a 51-31 win. Mahomes 5 TDs, 321 yards. Chiefs by 7.5 over Tennessee. How you guys looking at this one?
Well, there's one way to beat them, and Tennessee has the formula. Don't give Kansas City the ball. You know, if you can just keep it away from them. Houston played too fast, I thought. When they got hit 24-0, I would have just went into a complete shell and said, run that clock all the way down. Who's the guy? P.J. Fleck, you told me.
Yeah.
Does
He
it
starts in the third quarter.
Yes. You know.
And let me say this. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Derrick Henry looked terrific, but I've watched Tennessee's offensive line.
It's everything.
What a job they did. And the offense, your 2 most important hires as head coach, the offensive line coach and your secondary coach.
I'm all in with that.
You don't get
No
those
doubt.
right guys, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and nobody's given enough credit. For example, we didn't. LSU's offensive line. And nobody talks about him. It's all Joe Burrow.
He's
Let me tell you,
looking
Joe,
back there,
if you're
yeah.
on your back, you're not playing. Tennessee, Henry's a great running back, but if he's not getting the block and they are, they're not. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco 27, Minnesota 10. The 49ers defense held Minnesota to 147 total yards. They looked terrific on defense. They had a few games this year they looked shaky, but overall solid defense. And then Green Bay 28, Seattle 23. Green Bay at San Francisco, the 49ers by 7 the previous meeting. San Francisco won 38-9.
Well, San Francisco's better. There is no doubt in my mind. But
I love their defense.
But you're never
front.
sure how their offense is going to play because defensively they're going to be after Rodgers. That front's coming after.
That front four.
Yeah.
And you don't. But the thing with their front four, you don't have to use your linebackers
No,
to
they
blitz.
come-
Isn't that nice? It's the number 1 rule for winning in the NFL. Win with a
Rush
fast
four.
rush of 4.
Remember Miami for years did that in the college.
Yes, always. Never blitzed at all.
No.
Pro Football Hall of Fame. I'm going to mention the stats. You guys tell me what you think. Bill Cowher, 149.90 and won 61.9%. Winning percentage over 15 years. 1-1 in Super Bowls. 12-9 in playoff games. But also, I think he lost 3 or 4 ACC title games. 3 losing seasons and 1 500 season. Hall of Fame coach.
No,
I agree with
not
you.
at all. I never thought about it. Okay.
I think if he's in, then all the Super Bowl winners have to be in.
Then Mike Holmgren
Especially
should be in.
Flores with 2.
Mike Holmgren, Flores with 2. Absolutely a guy that they left out. And then you might as well say you got to put Mike Tomlin's won, I think 62 or 63%
he's gonna get in there. Yeah,
of his.
And he's
games.
not a Hall of Fame coach either.
No.
But him
He's
and Cowher,
not.
neither one. But they're both
But
going in.
are they watering down?
They're both
to get in.
in our mind.
Yeah.
In our mind, and that's
don't-
George asked a good question. What do you base it on? I base it on what you just said.
You just know.
If I look, he's Hall of Fame. If I have to think about it for 3 seconds, he's not Hall of Fame. That's
No.
why I look
Like
at
if
it.
a guy says to you, who's the greatest? If you can't tell him right away,
You don't have a
there isn't.
greatest. Right.
I just think with 3 losing seasons and 1 500
I thought the
season,
4
that much-
losses at home in the AFC
He yeah,
Championship.
2 and 4 and
Yeah.
and couldn't beat New England.
How about he couldn't beat San Diego that year? They were 10-point favorites.
Don't put the bust anywhere near Paul Brown and Vince Lombardi.
And that's what that's what I'm talking about. See,
it's
that's
such a
Hall of
drop-off.
Fame. No, that's Hall of Fame to me.
Yeah.
That is Hall of Fame. And that's why I look at it. I struggle with it because I'm not saying he's not a very good coach. I'm just talking Hall of Fame is the
Right.
best.
There's a difference.
of
That's
the
a good
best.
distinction.
Yes.
Hey, finally, we've been remiss on the Penguins. We've had so much to cover. What they've done with the injuries to Crosby, Gensel. Gensel's going to miss the rest of the year. Crosby returns this week against Minnesota. They're second place in the Metro, 28-12-5. Sullivan's made no excuses. They played right through, and they've won. They've been terrific.
July, I'll tell you if they had a good year or not. June,
Well,
June that's what I said about.
I'm just saying right now.
I know,
with
I
the
know that, but
injuries,
I get it.
They've done great. Hey, that's it for us this week. We run out of time. We'll see you next week.